the gap as Dick Johnson gets away from them over the top of the hill, and he comes heading down here to Caltech's chase again. John Bowe goes shoo. Yeah, that even scared the living daylights out of our cameraman. I tell you what, Johnson looks sharp here today. Are you on Stimorol or steroids?
Must be steroids, I think, but I don't know whose they are.
Well, I thought you were taking the Synovus every day. You told me that yesterday.
Oh, hang on. It's supposed to be a plug for my sponsors, not yours.
Dick, you're looking strong. How good does the car feel?
The car feels great, but I can't see a damn thing. Because Bowie chucked up all this oil on the windscreen.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like looking through a broken sheet of glass.
Yeah, we can see that as the camera comes round.
Oh, you got the good side.
Yeah, and comfortable.
Oh, thanks very much.
How bad was the oil in that first turn the second time you came round?
Oh, I think it was cross your fingers and hope for the best deal. That's exactly what it was.
Okay, you're making this look easy. Have a fine day. We're following Larry Perkins as we go outside under the front spoiler here of Larry's car. He comes down the Conrod Straight, and that's Mark Scaife just ahead of him, and he's actually been clawing away and pulling Scaife back.
Look at the amount of fuel they're tipping through these Chevy V8s, Alan. A big plume of black smoke coming out of the exhaust. It's very hard to get accurate figures on how much power they're producing, but some say in the region of 570, 580, which is
getting up there.
Yeah, that's a lot of grunt
for 5 litres. That's no taxi motor.
So Larry Perkins closing in on the back of Mark Scaife. The Winfield #1. Jimmy Richards, of course, not competing today after that shunt. Yesterday afternoon, the team deciding not to try and repair the car and send it back to Melbourne. So Scaife, the lone representative here, and doing a great job in 4th place. And boy, isn't he having a difficult championship at 95.
Yes, he's carrying the 1 on the side of the Winfield Commodore. And but unfortunately, the Shell team have started this season the way the Winfield team started season 94. Apart from the fact, of course, that Mark Scaife was so lucky in that practice accident he had at Eastern Creek. He missed a round of the championship. Now you're going to see some fascinating shots as they work their way up the mountain, and the engineer is at work.
This really is one of the most evocative views you'll ever see of motorsport. A fabulous low angle from the front spoiler of Larry Perkins' Castrol Commodore. You're looking right under the tail of the Winfield machine as they head up across the top of the mountain. Look how busy that suspension is as it hops and jumps across the road, oversteer, understeer as he tries to get the power to the ground. It really is the most incredible view, Alan.
Don't think he can't feel that wiggling either. That's just the suspension at work, and he can make the right judgment going into a corner and getting the car set up. But once the rear end decides, hey, I'm part of this equation, and starts that wiggling, the driver feels it. Here's Larry having to follow the brake lights now. This is extremely hard. Look, we're getting dizzy watching this. Larry just has to hit his gas pedal in sync with Mark. When he sees the brake lights go on, he must brake as well. He can't drive into him. Just a little lock up there.
Just look at the driving technique there. He's braking as he's cornering. He's right on that balance between braking and sliding the car. Really, that is absolutely on the limit, isn't it?
Exactly.
Glenn Seaton, despite that tremendous charge in the opening third of this race, really has stabilised his position behind John Bowe.
Mark Scaife and Larry Perkins run 4th and 5th. That's the order. And behind them, Thomas Mazera in 6th, Alan Jones 7th, Peter Brock is 8th, Tony Longhurst 9th, and Phil Ward is in 10th spot in the Nokia Commodore. There's the gap. Coming up now is Mark Scaife, and Larry is closing all over him. That's Thomas Mazera, a lonely drive here for Thomas and also for Alan Jones.
Talk about bringing the best out in someone, Mark Scaife, and getting certainly a hurry up from Larry Perkins here. Look how close Larry goes. You can just about see the brand name on the oil coolers under the car there. Scaife mirrors just full of Castrol Holden as they come up toward Reed Park. This daunting part of the track as they take this dip just on close to 200 kilometres an hour across the top of the mountain here as they approach this blind McPhillamy Park approach.
This is not easy, believe me. Everyone can see basically Larry's got a few more leverage with the windscreen, but the angle we're looking at here is basically what he has to put up with. Well, Seaton's certainly not backing off in any shape or form. He has got the benefit of the toe on the straights. Not enough, it appears, for him to get up alongside and actually challenge John Bowe. But by the same token, John will be quite worried about who's
engine temperatures. He spent the preceding laps just getting the engine temperature under control, and now he's going to have a real go on the drive from this final 2 laps. It's the only way he's going to nail Bauer on the straight, isn't it?
Could be the case.
So this time Glenn Seaton tucks into the draft behind John Bauer's car. Let's see if he does it the final time around. They're coming up for their final lap now. Dick Johnson still in control from Bauer. Seaton, Mark Scape and Larry Perkins. That great battle for 4th and 5th. Thomas Mazera in 6th. Alan Jones in 7th. It's Brock Longhurst and Phil Ward rounding out the top 10.
Well, the last lap signal out as they come across the line now. There's Johnson. So they're probably a little closer to Johnson than they were a couple of laps ago, but Glenn's got into the off-roading.
Boy, look at the amount of...
Look what he kicked up, but he held it. He knew where he was going. He didn't get out of control, but he was certainly trying to creep up on the car in front of him, but in the process lost a bit traction on the dirt.
Certainly mucked up his corner exit speed up that critical mountain straight climb. Last time around, Bauer got it down to just 2.1 seconds, the gap between Johnson and Bauer that time across the start finish line. And the gap to Scape has increased from Seaton in 3rd to Scape in 4th. 7 seconds that last time across.
Well, Dick will be loving this. He's really at home at this place. He does love it. It's been his career, his life. He's raced here for over 2 decades. And I wouldn't want to count how many laps he's got under his belt. And it'll be a great thrill for him here today.
Oh, we take the Dunlop Tyres race cam. It's down.
Combination there, you hear him hitting the gas pedal, using that 6-speed gearbox, coaxing it around, giving it a bit. By the sound of that Ford, it's not too much coaxing. It seems to be responding pretty quickly.
It's doing quite nicely. Tyre power turn for the final time as Johnson sets the Shell FAI car into the breeze. And there he goes. That's not a bad sort of a lead, son.
Well, Mike, I was just hoping it might be on the last lap in October you're talking to me, you know, not now.
Now, you've always been sitting in the garage cheering on Bowie there on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, well, that's the way it's worked out, unfortunately, but I'll get there one day.
You've shown the kids something today.
Oh, well, you know, it's like, mate, I just thought that when I get to the stage where I get to 50, you end up becoming in the Masters status, and I think that should allow us an extra litre in the engine side, don't you?
You sure have. Checkered flag time as Dick Johnson gets across the line. Hey, well done, Dick.
Very well done, Dick.
Thanks, mate.
Johnny Bauer places in 2nd and Glenn Seaton in 3rd place. Let's check them out for you on our Shell race score. Dickie Johnson of Queensland. 1-2 for the Shell team. John Bauer places 2nd. Glenn Seaton was 3rd. Mark Scape was 4th. Larry Perkins rounded out 5. 6th spot to Thomas Mazera. 7th was Alan Jones. 8th Peter Brock. 9th Tony Longhurst. And 10th